Alright, y'all, welcome back to the channel. I hope y'all enjoyed the last video of the camping trip that we usually take, fall 2024 camping trip. Um, we like to do that twice a year if we can, but usually it's once. It's a good time, it's relaxing, it's a lot more fun in person than it is in the video, but I mean, that goes with anything, right? But it's just, a good time and get away from everything. You don't really have that much cell service or anything, which is getting better out there, but it's just good to escape everything and just have fun with the kids and just be out and away. But anyway, we're going to get forward on this video, and what you're looking at right here is what should be a 1500 to 2000 horsepower LAT 427. And y'all see the little issues that we were having. But just a little rundown on it. Truck came in. We did all kind of work on it. Turbo build, turbo 400, 9-inch, motor plates, mid plates, just all kind of stuff, which we'll get to showing y'all that later on a different video. But we get it all together and we try to make some horsepower and it loses a head gasket. So come to find out, which we already were kind of aware of, but before the truck came to us and it just had a 2.9 Whipple on it, it apparently had lost the head gasket twice before on a dyno, and then on a dyno at another shop, and then right after he picked it up, I think he said in the second pass, it lost the head gasket again. At that point is when it came back over to us to start this turbo stuff. So it's got a previous issue of head gaskets. So we changed cam spec for the turbo. We put a little bit better lifter in it that was in it, and some better valve springs. So we're like, all right, we'll put a fresh set of gaskets on it. Didn't really see much. We tried to check the surface as good as we could, what we had at the time, and we didn't really see much. So put it together. We put it on the dyno, which you'll see here, and on wastegate, thing runs fine, makes like 900 horse. And we go to turn CO2 on, we make a pull, and thing makes like 12 something. And the plan was to go ahead, let it cool down, change the oil, change the plugs and all that, and come back the following day to really turn up the boost on it and try to make some power. So the owner goes home and says, hey, can we do this? This was a Friday night. He says, hey, can we come back and get back on the dyno Sunday? He had plans with the family. I was like, sure. So late Friday night, like 2 or 3 in the morning, I guess Saturday morning, really, I was looking over the logs, and we had put a coolant pressure sensor in it. And I started noticing coolant pressure was way up, like in the 30, 40 pound range. So Saturday, I get up, I go back to the other shop, and I run a leak down test on every cylinder, and they all check out. So I'm like, all right, that's weird. So then, for the hell of it, to do a compression test. Well, number 3 made 60 pounds, while all the others were between 180 and 210. Has another set of gaskets coming, so he changes the gaskets, fires it up, and showing coolant pressures staying around 4 to 6 pounds, depending on the temperature and if the water pump's on. All this. So like, cool, let's try it again. Let's get back on the dyno. So he brings it back down. We get it back on the dyno. We make another pull on gate just to make sure everything's good. And coolant pressure just stays steady, like 6 or 7 pounds across. So like, all right, everything's good on that. Let's turn the CO2 back on. So turn CO2 back on and go to make a pull. And I'm in it and I'm watching the screen. I wasn't watching the computer because I had set up the ECU login on the Dominator. So I had that and I was testing that because our plan was to try and go to state capital if everything was good. So I'm watching the screen, and I have set up on the screen, I have a little bar that says coolant pressure. And the thing feels great, everything's smooth, and it's pulling through about 66, 6700. All of a sudden, that bar on the coolant pressure just shoots across the damn screen. So I get out, pop it in neutral, which trans is a clean neutral, so don't worry about that. Pop it in neutral and kill it, coast down and all, and get up under the truck, water everywhere, and you can see where it pushed the gasket again on cylinder number 3. So said, motor's got to come out. We got to figure out what's going on with this thing. So we pull the motor out, and long story short, that bank was out 6 or 7 thousandths, and so it got decked on that side, and obviously got decked on the other side to match it. So here we are, and it's a good thing because we also noticed a couple other things once it came apart. And one is this. See if y'all can see it good, but the lower timing gear, oil pump drive is cracked. So it's a good thing we found that. The end of the crank is tore up from where the other shop pinned the balancer on it, which I don't know why. The crank is double keywayed. I don't know why they didn't put both keyways in it and put the double keyway hub, HD, ATI hub on it, and was done. So they pinned it, and it's rough. It looks really rough. But luckily, all it's got to do now is drive an alternator, or I tell them throw the crank away. So anyway, this is the new gear that's going to go on it that we have machined with the little bevel in it. So we're going to take care of that. We're going to go ahead and remeasure the bearings real quick. Make sure our clearance is good, and get the short block thrown together. We also changing camshaft again, and he had ordered a LME billet front cover, which obviously gets rid of VVT altogether. So we changed to a hybrid camshaft, 3-bolt camshaft, and we're going to put that in. And we also have a set of LME CID heads going on it now. So hopefully all that checks out good. We'll recheck piston the valve on it because of the bigger valves in these heads, because it had stock casting heads on it. But we can go through all that and get this thing back together and get it in the truck, and we should be making some good power. So. Alright, I finished up last night by go ahead and finishing up the short block, got the pistons in and all that, and kept fighting these gears that I was showing y'all. We split 2 more. Well, I split 1 last night, just knocking it on. I went and got another one from the other shop, and this morning we come and we start to put it on, and it splits on us. And I had to clean up this crank a little bit more on that snout from where it was kind of tore up. So got that done. We fought that for several hours and had to go to a dealership and get another gear, but we got that. And since we converted over to a 3-bolt camshaft instead of the VVT single bolt, we went ahead and put a single roller hex adjust timing setup on it. So we just got done checking piston to valve on both intake and exhaust. We got over 200 thousandths on that. So then we degreed the cam real quick. It came in at 114.5 intake center line, and it should be a 115. So we're gonna leave it right there at half a degrees advanced. So now we're gonna pull all the degree stuff back off. He's putting the studs in now. We'll get reorganized and go ahead and clean up and put the lifters back in and bolt the heads on, and hopefully smooth sailing from here. Get it wrapped up. Got the new LME chain dampener tensioner front cover. My new CID heads. So I gotta go ahead and pull the test springs back off and put the real springs back on and get everything ready. Alright, we got it finished up. About to load up in the truck for him to take back to Mississippi. But not too bad. So I don't know, it depends on what's going on. I might ride up there tomorrow and help him get it in the truck and fire it up. So we'll see. Ready to be back making some power with it.